as you can see, these all broke into pieces quite nicely, and they actually do look like little tiny miniature bottles. If I put some labels on, the bigger ones, I think that they will definitely look like shampoo or bubble bath or whatever we need them to look like. And I might put a little couple of extra beads on the top of these things just to finish them off as well. But yes, so that actually worked. That was one I saw on Pinterest, and that's 3 sticks there. And I've got a couple of bits left over here that I might use on my crazy steampunk machine that I'm building for Rebecca's laboratory. Okay, so let's get to gluing. And then I'll have to decide what colour I'm going to make them. And I think the bathroom one should be white, but the other one might be teal or brown, or it depends on how I feel about it. So let's see if that's dry enough. Yeah. 2 little tiny shelves done. Okay, so we painted the shelf green, made some little succulent leaves to dry, made a little stand for a piece of crystal. I started painting the gizmo. I don't know what to call it because I haven't finished making it and I don't quite know what it is yet. And I've creased up a couple more of the Harry Potter books. I'm going to go ahead with the next one of those. Just gluing up my bit. Stick it on there. I have to do 5 or 6 different things at once instead of just one at a time, because I get very bored if I have to do the same thing over and over and over again. And seeing as I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books to do, I don't want to do them all in one go. The same goes for this. It's very boring just to keep trying to get all your paint into all the little nooks and crannies on this. So do a little bit, let it dry, do something else. That stops me from getting brain dead. Another good thing about that is that if you have a little gap between doing something and the next layer and everything, it gives you time to think about, you know, if it looks right, whether you want to change it, what you want to do with it. So that's an added bonus to doing multitasking. But I am a bit of a scatterbrain, and I am the first to admit it. When I'm teaching children, I'm very aware of how quickly their attention span can be lost, and I'm also aware that once their attention span is lost, they're very quick to mess up what they're doing. So I try and keep an eye, and I sort of work out each child's threshold. Now, admittedly, there are exceptions, as in when they get really into something, they can go a lot longer because they're invested in it. So, you know, sometimes you hit exactly the right project for them, and then they'll just keep going, and you have to actually stop them at the end of the lesson because they just want to keep doing more. And I'm quite lucky with that, because the kids that come to me tend to be enthusiastic in the first place. I don't take children that don't want to be here, that don't want to do art, because what's the point? I've got to want to do it. I'm not here to punish people. Now, I screwed that one on with a screw, so you've got some nice movement there. I quite like that. I know this isn't the nicest colour in the world, but it is quite mahogany-ish. Oh, mahogany-ish, that's not a word. Mahogany-esque. And therefore, and it's also the same colour that I used in the dining room and on her shelves, so it makes them all tie in together, as if, you know, they're all manufactured at the same sort of time and the same person. Reason behind the madness. Let that dry now. Take a fine brush and just get into all the little bits I've missed. The other cogs, though, I think I might make them metallic rather than wood colour, because I want it to all look sort of steampunky. So we'll let that one dry now for a bit. I've got a lot of pictures to get on and make. So that's fine. These have all got to dry. The pots are drying, the shelves have got to dry, the books are drying. lots of little projects. That's why I can jump from one to another until they all come together at the end. And then I can clear my desk. Yay! Yay! Because you can't get an awful lot done when your desk looks like this. Well, you can, but not as much as you'd like. Anyway, right, onwards, onwards. Okay, so I've just cut a little piece of plastic. I don't even think you can see this, it's so tiny. A little tiny piece of plastic to go inside this beautiful ebony and silver frame. And we're going to have a picture of Venus McFlytrap in there. So I'm just going to turn the screw in the top to the side so that hangs. And I bought that in Chiang Mai many years ago and hadn't got around to it. I've got another beautiful one here which we've got an operetta picture in. I hadn't put glass in that one though, or plastic in that one though. And again I need to put a hook in the top so we can hang it. The round ones were really for operetta's room, and I found a couple of like Puro masks that would look quite cool in a phantom room. Already did a little bit of work on these, so all in the blacks and the reds that match operetta's room. That's actually quite heavy. I don't know how that's going to work on the wall, but we'll try. I'll do those as well. Now outside I've got drying a whole load of cogs that I've just been and spray painted. So I'll go and get those and then we can get on with this. It's more or less finished. Once it's really dry I can scratch off those little bits of paint that have gone onto the glass. Just cleaning it all up now. Right, so I'm going to need my box with the metal cogs, which is here. Still got a few that we can use. And then we can start fiddling with that. So I've just cut off a piece of copper pipe, but I think it might be too heavy because I was thinking that I would like to attach it to this at some point and then have it going into the flask like it was draining some amazing chemical elixir or some experiment. But we'll see if we can do it. We'll see if we can do it. I'm always more I'm always more ambitious than my abilities really allow for. So I got in all the cogs. So now I will start playing with them and seeing how I can put them together. Once I've decided what I'm doing, then I'll come back to you and show you how I put it all together. Because at the moment it's just a big pile of stuff and a piece of copper pipe. Let's try and make something. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I want this base, which is, I think it almost looks like the bottom of a piggy bank. Really not sure. But it's a metal base and it looks quite industrial, so I'm going to put a splodge of hot glue in the bottom of there and stick that into there. Then I want to have a cog on the top. And I thought these would be good. Try and get it centered. And then on the top of that I have stuck a dead light bulb into a plastic lid. And I'm going to stick that on the top. Some of the paint's come off, so I need to touch that up, but let's give it a try. That's now doing its funky thing, balanced on a pot of earring findings, doing its stuff. So we'll let that dry and then we'll add some more cogs. Okay, I've got no idea what we're brewing, but I'm thinking that looks quite seriously steampunk. Now we've got all sorts of things going on. We've got wires. I've used up those little bits of plastic that I cut off to make little lights. We've got our pipe coming off. We've got cogs. We've got light bulbs. We've got all sorts. So I'm quite pleased with that. That's definitely a thingy machine for doing stuff. The concrete pots aren't quite dry yet, but they're almost there. They've got a few little bits of crack in them, but you know, the cement ones do too, and I think they do look very modern and with it and to the on point. So this one I made out of just blobs of hot glue, and then I just put some spray paint. So basically just literally blobs of hot glue, and then I spray painted them with a green. And this one was the spiky leaves that I made out of the clay. So I'm going to do a little bobbly one, and then I might try and do a tall one. I've got 2 little pots left, and I've also got a white pot. I might make a taller plant for that. But yeah, I'm actually quite pleased with my little succulents. They're coming along very nicely. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually like taking a bead and actually then hot gluing all the pieces onto the bead. So the bead then slips down into the pot, and voila, plant. So yeah, this one fits nicely in here. So I'm going to stick these bibbly bobbly boos on it and see what I can come up with. Okay. Harry Potter out of the way. So I'm just going to pop some glue all around the top of here. Whoop. The strings are attaching them to each other. This might be better for a smaller pot actually. But I'll put that in there for now. We might make some more bubbles and then take them up a little bit higher. We could actually have a go at a spiky cactus, which might be quite fun. One nice tall cactus, which then should just pop straight down into its pot. Whoop. Because I've used green clay, I don't need to paint it. I will wait until it's dry and then pull off some of the glue hairs. But all in all, that's definitely a succulent in a very cool concrete pot. So let's put these with these ones. See the little collection we've made. So this one is obviously like a toothpaste cap with a bit of greenery in it. This is some real, this and this are the same thing, one's green and one's red. They're real dried seed heads, I suppose you'd call them. So this is the tray with all the things in it that can go upstairs and be put into Tilly's house. So there's quite a lot of bits now that we've made today and over the last couple of days. But they've been finished off now, so I'm going to pop all these plants in here, and I've got 2 more books to finish and a couple of pictures, and then I can take it all upstairs and pop it into the Monster High house.